Get good and ready. The show starts now.
Let there be light.
Grab the car shop.
For a game finally releasing after being hyped up for an entire console generation and selling as well as it did, one would think that it'd be nothing but victory laps. But that hasn't been the case for Cyberpunk 2077. While those playing on good PCs and next-gen consoles have been fine, relatively speaking, those on previous-gen machines have found nothing but trouble. It's kicked off quite the movement for refunds, with CD Projekt themselves trying to plug the holes by offering refunds, and Sony has delisted the game entirely from PSN. Heck, following its delisting on the PlayStation Store, followed by refunds for the PS4 version, CD Projekt Red's Cyberpunk 2077 is now eligible for full refunds on the Xbox One as well. Microsoft recently tweeted that it was expanding its existing policy to offer full refunds to those who purchased digitally from the Microsoft Store. It noted that refunds have been granted to the vast majority of those who requested one. A warning has now been put on the game on the Xbox Store listing, which reads, "Users may experience performance issues when playing this game on Xbox One consoles until this game is updated." This means the game will seemingly remain up for purchase, at least for now, unlike the PlayStation version, which is no longer purchasable. It's been an incredible saga, the likes of which we've never seen, and it's apparently not just consumers heated at CD Projekt Red. In a new report from Bloomberg's Jason Schreier, he paints the developers of the title in something of a revolt. At a board meeting, it's alleged that staff fired off angry, tense, and blunt questions and comments towards management. One employee is quoted as asking why management saw fit to say the game was complete and playable back in January of this year, when that clearly was not the case. In the end, it seems the general consensus was that the game needed more development time, and the deadlines set were unrealistic. We have to treat this as rumour though, due to the nature of the reporting, but Schreier is of course one of the most renowned names in games reporting, and has been one of the most consistent reporters on the studio and its conditions. It also doesn't take much need for faith to see that clearly something didn't go well with the game's development, and there has even been a financial blowback when stock in CD Projekt dropped rapidly and seeming to cost its founders a lot of money in the process. CD Projekt Red has been taking a beating since the launch of Cyberpunk 2077, with stock falling by 29% following various issues. According to Bloomberg, the company's founders have lost over $1 billion from their own wealth. As of Tuesday, their joint 34% stake is valued at roughly $3 billion, with stock rising by 2.5%. Based on different analyst estimates collected by Bloomberg, the title's 12-month sales forecast has fallen from the previously predicted 30 million or so to 25.6 million. The consensus seems to be that fixing the game's many issues will be crucial for revenue, even as the PC version's outlook seems to be faring better. BOS Bank SA analyst Thomas Rodak stated in an email that there's now a huge scar on the reputation of both the studio and its management. All of this has apparently also impacted future content plans. For instance, Cyberpunk 2077's paid expansions and its multiplayer project were both due to be revealed in early 2021. With the base game's launch having been so problematic, have those plans now been pushed back once again? Well, as it turns out, even CD Projekt Red doesn't know yet. Speaking in a recent conference call, CD Projekt President Adam Kaczynski said that the company finds itself in a situation that it had not anticipated, and as such, doesn't yet know how said situation will impact plans for revealing post-launch content. First and foremost, we haven't confirmed any dates yet, and as I've said before, it's hard to judge now, Kaczynski said. We're in an unanticipated situation and we'll have to reassess. This is planned for January. We're now focusing on managing the single-player release, working on patches, communication, and, as I said at the very beginning of this call, our focus remains on the gamers. We'll see about further plans though. The direction is obviously to proceed as planned, but we have to sit and discuss. If that weren't enough, the New York Times reports that lawyers and investors are looking to sue CDPR for potential criminal misinterpretation in order to receive financial benefits. This falls in line with earlier reports on how CDPR mismanaged critics' reviews as well. The chosen few outlets that did get a review build of the game in time for a pre-launch review were only given PC codes. On top of that, CDPR also stipulated that these outlets couldn't use their own recorded footage in their reviews. No base console footage was ever shown, and most, if not all, early reviews were based only off the PC version. So, what the hell really happened here? How come one of the most loved game developers in the modern era of video games falls so fast, and that too flat on its face? The official reasons will likely never be known, but according to my opinion, CDPR took in more than they can chew. Working on fantasy role-playing games is always their strong point, and after the reputation that they gained after The Witcher 3, I think that success got into their head. I know I'm possibly being overly critical here, but do note that this game was in some level of development since late 2012, or at least it went into full production after CDPR finished off their work with The Witcher 3. It's also sad in a way that the once champions of the gaming community are now looking like the complete opposite of what they used to be. Perhaps the company got too big, perhaps the game was horribly mismanaged, the reasons could be anything. But one thing is for sure, the recent events will definitely create ripples in this industry and will send out a message to every game developer and publisher out there. Serve your customers well and don't let success get into your head. If you think your past successes means that you can sell anything you want and get away with it, then you're awfully mistaken. I really do hope that CDPR recovers from this, but from where I'm looking from, I doubt that Cyberpunk 2077 will have a No Man's Sky style turnaround. Yes, they are working hard and pushing patches, with major ones coming in January and February, but besides the performance issues, there are issues within the game itself, like poor AI, NPC and vehicle behavior, and many more, which are even more problematic on last-gen based consoles. I really hope I'm proven wrong here, but given the current status of the company and the trust they've lost, CDPR have a lot to prove that they were not just a one-hit wonder studio.
Attention NCPD subcons. Suspected organized crime activity reported on Hargreave Street. APB out for Darius Miles, wanted for murder. Perp belongs to 6th Street Gang and leads one of its drug manufacturing rings. The city has promised a reward for terminating the threat from Miles and his drug cell.
And that wraps it up. If you like what we're doing, please consider subscribing to our channel. We upload new videos daily, so make sure you don't miss them by subscribing. We appreciate your support, and we thank you for checking us out.